G'day Bodgies and Wedgies and welcome back to the channel. Now how I wish this was my fish room, but we're actually at an aquarium store I've been wanting to visit for almost years at this point in Chennai, India, and this is none other than Chennai Aquarium. We're going to do a bit of a tour around the place and have a look at some of the really cool highlight aquariums and talk you through why I think this is a pinnacle aquarium store, not just in India, but just for the whole world to understand how quality and elegance in an aquarium store can really make a difference in the way that it feels for customers, the way that they're coming in and making purchases. Along with that, there are some beautiful display aquariums, some of which I've basically never really seen being done in Australia, and it's something that's very eye-opening for a lot of other aquarium stores or people that are potentially looking at setting up an aquarium store to gain some inspiration, because this aquarium store, Chennai Aquarium, is actually set up by a fellow hobbyist. And before we get into this video, let's just acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land I'm filming on, the land that you're watching this video on, and the amazing people who are managing our land as well. But I say, without further ado, let's have a look at Chennai Aquarium. Chennai Aquarium actually just started off as an idea from a fellow hobbyist, and I actually discovered this aquarium store through the Chennai Aquarium YouTube channel. At the point where I first discovered that channel, it was just the owner of this store, Francis, who was making some videos at his home with his personal aquariums, which he then started to scale up slowly and slowly, which you can see throughout the course of his channel, and he's documented the entire process of building this store. And this isn't a big store by any means, shape or form. However, it is one of the most cleanest and most quality looking stores I've ever been to personally through my entire aquarium hobby. The thing that I love most is this open plan concept. Now, since this is actually quite a small shop, he's actually just gone for a wall of aquariums and kept a big floor space for customers to walk around and really enjoy the aquariums. And along with that, he's broken the store up in a really beautiful manner with both retail selling aquariums and also some fantastic display aquariums which highlight fish from different parts of the world, whether it be Papua New Guinea, South America, Africa, and these display tanks really do break up the store to really split it up into different sections where he can specialize in different fish. And that's where this shop really does strike me the most. He's got such an amazing variety of aquarium fish throughout the shop, whether it be discus, freshwater stingrays, South American cichlids, or also a wide range of small nano fish and shrimp. This really does allow for customers of all different aquarium sizes to come into the shop, have a look at what they want, and all the fish are very active, very happy and healthy and thriving. As a matter of fact, some are actually breeding in some of the aquariums, which I was able to see as well. And to complement this wide range of fish that the store sells, Chennai Aquarium also does offer a wide range of hardscape materials, a very big mixed selection of rock and driftwood, whilst also offering proper filtration options as well. Another really cool feature that they do, and something which is quite common in Australia, is custom aquarium setups, where they can design an aquarium that's specifically tailored to your house, come over and actually scape it for you to create one of their amazing display tanks, whilst also offering the proper methods of filtration with the big name brands that we're used to in Australia, like Fluval, Eheim, and brands of such sort. And once these aquariums are set up and running, they can also go ahead and do the regular maintenance and service required to keep these aquariums running long term. But with that out of the way, let's actually have a closer look at some of the fish and some of the display aquariums that they actually have in the shop, and then look at some of the goodies that I ended up bringing back to Australia. This here is my most favourite display in the entire store, and it's actually a 4 foot by 4 foot by only about 1.5 foot tall Lowboy Goldfish aquarium. I think that they utilize this aquarium in such a beautiful sense with its simplistic nature of just the sort of coarse white sand, smooth rocks, and these beautiful little goldfish which are so elegant in their own sort of fashion, and I just love how they look. Then we move into this South American aquarium, and this is what you would call a species spotlight aquarium, where it's highlighting a singular species of fish, and it's actually a very unique mix, being the redhead geophagus. To accompany them, there are some festivums, and there's also some albino heculi, but it's never really something I've seen done before, and that is just highlighting the redhead geophagus. Next up, I wanted to show you this absolute beautiful flower horn. Now, I was told that these are all imported from Thailand, I believe, and these are all really high quality flower horns. Now, I'm not really a big flower horn expert or anything, but I do really appreciate the effort and the craft that goes into breeding these fish. And this is honestly a very beautiful looking fish in my opinion, though I've never really been a big fan of these overly hybrid fish. I think this flower horn just has some phenomenal colours, a beautiful personality, and it's a fish that I honestly would be very interested in keeping. And right beside the flower horn, we've got one of my most all-time dream aquarium fish, and that is the silver arowana. Prior to my lungfish obsession, I was absolutely addicted to the silver arowana until I sort of had to come to terms that I could never keep this fish legally in Australia without a license or anything crazy like that, because the state that I live in, specifically Victoria, these fish are banned. And this final display aquarium is a mixed community tank of both Papua New Guinea, African, and also South American fish. I think it's primarily highlighting the beauty of these scalar angels. These are the Peruvian altums, and they're very common here in Australia, but when they get big, and I mean adult size, you can see just how amazing they are. To accompany them, we've got a beautiful mix of Bosemani, and I think the colours of the Bosemani really do contrast really well against those sort of monotone colours of the angelfish. And the scape, as always, like all the tanks here at Chennai Aquarium, are phenomenal with the endocrinus swords in the background and that driftwood. But these angels are really something else, especially when they're full size, and I think it's something that's very highly underappreciated with these Peruvian altum angels, of how they get that red or orange rusty color and just how bold those black bars are. Absolutely amazing. Alrighty, Bodgies and Bodgies, I really hope you enjoyed that fish store tour of Chennai Aquarium. Though we're back in Australia in the good old fish room, it's still a fish store that I've constantly got playing over and over in my head. I love the layout, the quality of fish, and just how bright and open it was in terms of navigating through the space, and it was very, very inspirational to see both that tie-in of those small sort of industrial fish rack styles that we're used to, along with those beautiful display home quality aquariums, which is just very, very nice. And the way that they were blended together was equally beautiful as well. Along with that, I did end up purchasing some goodies from Chennai Aquarium to bring back to Australia. Most of these items were just things that I couldn't really find readily available here, or just price was way too good to be true. One of which is this Sun hang-on back filter. This was purchased just as some additional filtration for the new saltwater aquarium build. Maybe I can add some carbon in there or just some filter floss to create some water quality, mainly as some mechanical filtration. Along with that, we also do have an assortment of these sort of medical treatments for fish. Though my fish don't ever get sick, when I do buy some new fish, I want to take the quarantine process a lot more seriously, just to make sure that I'm not in any way, shape or form affecting all of the fish that I currently have at the moment, because I both have a lot of population of fish, along with some very expensive fish as well, and it's just something that I don't really want to take a risk of. So for that, we've got a really small bottle of this ick treatment medication, which is called General Cure. It's an anti-white spot formula basically, so just a very highly concentrated methylene blue, and it was only like $1.20 or $2 for this, which was way cheaper than what we'd find here. I also do have this Worm Out D. This is similar to the, why isn't it focusing? Well, I'll show you some B-roll of it, but this is a dewormer for things like discus and angelfish, a lot of your cichlids, and it's similar to things like Prazipro or Levimisol that we may see in Australia. And the last one is this Paracidol FW, which I'm guessing stands for freshwater. And this one here is just a general sort of bacterial and parasitical medication to get rid of those any internal parasites and external sort of fungus or things like that. So it's really good to have these on hand, and I'm always a big fan, or big advocate I should say, of having medication on hand just in case things go south. You don't need to have any extra delays and in turn risking the fish. But that's a video on a topic for another day. Thank you so much for sticking along the ride. We've got a ton more India videos to come, and that's it from me. So as always, stay happy, stay safe, stay Aussie Australian. Bodgie out.